Tried to film this 3 times now. Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm 21 years old and I live in Melbourne, Australia. I am a part of the recovery community on YouTube. I quit opiates and started on a Suboxone regimen on the 1st of October. Today is the 4th of November. And I became very a big part of the recovery community during that time and still am. I would love to talk more about my story, but that is for another time. Right now, what I really want to focus on is anxiety during opiate withdrawal. Whether it's the acute withdrawal the first week or it's during pause, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Really, anxiety is such a huge part of opiate withdrawal, and for me it was number one. I've always had really terrible anxiety since I was a little kid, and that's another story as well. And then it's been masked by these drugs for about 7 years. When I came off, it was like it all hit me at once, and especially during post-acute withdrawal, it got real bad. So my doctor, who has me on the Suboxone regimen, him and I have been trying to medicate this anxiety. That's what I want to talk about today. I've tried a lot in the past 5 weeks, so I want to talk about what I've tried. First, I went to the doctor and I said, pretty much my physical withdrawal is over. This is about 6 days, 7 days in, maybe 8 days in. But the anxiety is debilitating. I cannot do anything. I cannot get out of bed. I just can't move. Now, I am a full-time carer for my disabled mum, so not being able to get out of bed is not an option. We had to medicate. My brain chemicals were so off that if I didn't medicate, I would have relapsed right then and there, no question. I'm going to just jump right in. We started with something called risperidone. Now, this is what it looks like in Australia. This is 0.5 milligrams of risperidone. It's an antipsychotic, and it's mainly used to treat schizophrenia and irritability and autism, but people have it prescribed for anxiety disorders. I tried one tablet and instantly I got restless legs, which is funny because I always have restless legs, especially in withdrawal, but it just was like times 10. I was trying to sleep because it made me so tired. I was trying to sleep and every 5 seconds I had to move, like you guys, you know how it works. And I was too afraid to take it again. I went to the doctor and I told him this, and he said that's funny because it's actually used to treat restless legs, but for me it did the opposite and I didn't take one again. This might work for some people. It really could. It's an amazing drug when your brain just needs a little help seeing reality. So, you know, it wasn't for me, but we tried it. We went from that to propranolol. Everyone knows what propranolol is. Looks like this. Oh no. I got 40 milligrams. I still use this on occasion. It's a beta blocker? Beta blocker. I think it's beta blocker. And it's used to treat high blood pressure, irregular heart rates, and physical anxiety symptoms like the handshakes and the sweatiness, and especially the fast heart rate. You know, you're sitting there and you can just feel your heart getting faster and faster, and it's all you can hear. You can hear it, and it's like, it's just, it's the worst feeling in the world. So we tried this, and I think it's one of those medications where I just can't tell what it's doing. And I think when that happens, it means it's working, because if I can't really tell if it's helping my physical anxiety or not, then it probably is. On occasion, when I'm really worked up physically, I will use this, but you know, it certainly wasn't treating my anxiety. So, take that as you will. Propranolol. Okay, next. Sorry, I went to the doctor. I told him, you know, I don't think this propranolol is working. It's not really doing much. Next, we tried oxazepam. This is the fun one. It's a benzo. Okay, it's a benzodiazepine, and it is used to treat anxiety disorders, insomnia, and it's used during alcohol withdrawal. This is interesting because he would only allow me to go to the pharmacy and pick up 4 at a time. It is 15 milligrams, and I would wake up in the morning and take 2. Now, this is the first thing that actually treated my anxiety, the really deep anxiety. And of course it did, because it's a benzo. But the abuse rate is so high, and you know, it was a short-term thing. It worked. It really took the edge off, but it didn't do as much as I needed it to. Like, I felt like I should be on a much higher dose, or I should be allowed to take more at a time, because this is just not enough. It's just not enough. And you know, I would have stayed on this had the doctor kept me on it, but he decided, you know, it's not doing enough, we're going to try something different. This is amazing, and I recommend it for really severe anxiety disorders and during withdrawal if you can get it prescribed, because like I said, it's a benzo. And you know, sometimes it's the worst thing you can do during withdrawal is go on medication like this, because the abuse rate is insane, and you will abuse it if you have the ability to. If you have, you know, a box of 20 next to you and you're in withdrawal, you will abuse it. You don't have control over that. You will abuse it. Which is why I'm glad my doctor gave it to me the way that he did, because I would have abused it 100%, without a doubt. It's just the life of an addict, I guess. But yeah, anyway, okay. So after we worked out that it wasn't quite enough, my doctor prescribed me something called Largactil, or chlorpromazine is the active ingredient, and it's what it's known for. Chlorpromazine, Largactil, Thorazine, it's got different names. It's an antipsychotic, and it's used to treat psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia. This one is difficult because my body didn't really get a chance to test it out. I had some other stuff going on with my body, and yeah, I mean, just like the propranolol, I felt like this one, you know, I couldn't quite tell if it was doing anything or not, which probably means that it was. I'm still on this. My doctor tells me to take 1 or 2 in the morning, and I can't say it doesn't work. I cannot say that at all. So, you know, if you want to look into this, this one's all about the brain chemistry, all about it, all about the natural hormones that are, and the chemicals that just aren't being released right now because your brain's in withdrawal, and it's just like drugs. This just helps to release those chemicals, the ones that you're really lacking. I mean, that's what they all do, but you know, this one is very scientific. If you do your research, it just makes sense to be on this during withdrawal. So look into it. I mean, I'm still testing it, so I can't say yes or no, but Largactil, 25 milligrams. Okay, so my doctor also, at the same time, prescribed me clonidine. I know that everyone in the recovery community knows clonidine. This is what clonidine looks like. Come on. There we go. 100 milligrams. Oh, no, sorry. It's not 100 milligrams. It's 100 mcg. Whatever that means. This is an antihypertensive medication. It is used to treat high blood pressure, ADHD, anxiety disorders, etc. Lots of things. It's a very interesting drug. And they've done so many studies about clonidine during opiate withdrawal, because one of its off-brand uses is to help ease opiate withdrawal. And everyone has a different experience on clonidine. I like this drug. Again, I haven't had much of a chance to test it out. I only got this a few days ago, so I'm very new to clonidine. Once again, I mean, I have to say that this works. I have to say it works. It has it has side effects, and you know, there's side effects that you have to really decide if it fits into your lifestyle. I already have very low blood pressure, and this lowers your blood pressure immensely. That's what it's for. So every time I stand up when I'm on this, I need to sit down for a second, things go black. And, you know, that's just... My body feels very slowed down when I take this medication, and I guess that's what it's for. But I'm still testing this one as well. I do want everyone to look into clonidine if they're going into opiate withdrawal. It's not hard to get prescribed. And a lot of people say it is just the miracle that they need during opiate withdrawal for the psychological and the emotional side of things. I mean, look into it, definitely. If you're having mental anxiety, like, it's a very hard feeling to describe. If you just feel like you're so stuck in your body with that feeling, like you're claustrophobic in your own body with that heartbeat pumping, and you know, everything feels wrong and something's always going to happen, and you're in fight or flight mode. The exact chemicals in your brain that are released when you're in the fight or flight mode, that's exactly what this stabilizes. I'm in fight or flight mode all the time when I'm anxious. I'm just constantly ready for something terrible to happen. This helps with that feeling. I have to say, it helps with that feeling. So if that's the way you feel, like you're either gonna explode or hide, you know, everyone knows what fight or flight feels like. If that's there all the time, please look into this medication, clonidine. That's what I'm on right now for anxiety. I have my depression medication. You know, when you're in the middle of anxiety, it feels like this is never going to end, especially during drug withdrawal, when you already feel so sick and you can't really do anything. You're lying in bed or on the couch and trying to distract yourself, and time's going slow, and then the anxiety is just the worst when you have nothing else to do but just sit with it. And that's when it becomes scary, is when you just have to sit with that feeling. And you know, you don't have to feel that way. You don't have to punish yourself because you're in drug withdrawal by just allowing yourself to feel that if it's too much, because that's when you will relapse. Your job is to stay clean no matter what. So if you need help with your anxiety in order to make that happen, do it. Look for it. Find someone you trust and ask for help. And that is certainly easier said than done, I know. But I'm here, and I'm really learning my shit, I hope. So, it's a journey, guys, and we're on it together. Okay, that is my video today. I don't know what the fuck I just spoke about for 14 minutes, but I hope that you learnt something, and I have a lot more to talk about, so hopefully I will see you very soon. Stay clean.